magic in me. Every time I touch that track, it turns into gold. Everybody knows I got the magic in me. When I hit the floor, the girls come snapping at me. Now everybody wants to flash the magic, 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 oh, I got the magic in me.
But I let tempo blow your mind. Pick a verse, any verse, I hypnotize you with every line. I'll need a volunteer, how about you, with the eyes? Come on down to the front, stand right here and don't be shy. I have you time traveling, have your mind babbling. People trying to inherit the skills, so they asking me. Even David Blaine had to go and take some classes, and I see mind freak like, what's up, man, what's happening? So come on, come on, we see the show tonight. Who better be astounded, no ghost or poltergeist. You know I'm no Pinocchio, I never told a lie. So call me Mr. Magic Man, I float on cloud nine.
I got the magic in me.
I got the magic, baby.
Every time I touch that track, it turns into gold.
Yes, it turns to gold.
Everybody knows I got the magic in me.
I got the magic, baby.
When I hit the floor, the girls come snap.
To manage or grow your business, National Billing provides immediate financing of your receivables, providing the cash to pay bills or invest in your business. National Billing is the expert in billing, collecting, and management. Contact Mel Wade and the staff for a non-obligation consultation. Located at 13 North Main, Ellenwood, a proud Ellenwood Eagles supporter.
Hi, I want to tell you about a neat jewelry store, Family Jewels and Silver, just south of the courthouse in Great Bend. They have a huge selection of loose gemstones. They do awesome custom designs in both gold and silver. And they have expert gold and silver repairs. They carry watch batteries and bands, as well as a lovely selection of earrings, pendants, and bracelets. Stop in today and receive 25% off any purchase through Christmas. Family Jewels and Silver, just south of the courthouse in beautiful downtown Great Bend.
Dole Insurance Group of Ellenwood would like to wish all the Ellenwood athletes good luck all season. For all your insurance needs, stop by Dole Insurance Group, located on East Santa Fe, and visit with Richard. Dole Insurance Group, proud to support Ellenwood Eagles sports.
Back here in Ellenwood, I'm Travis Reese, joined by Wes Balin. We're getting ready for the Ellenwood Eagles and the Little River Warriors here in tonight's ball game. Quickly run through some of your starting lineups here is Kyle Corbett, Kyle Blakely, Brett Whalen, Cale Clausen, and Ian Gehring will be the starting five for the Ellenwood Eagles. Starting for the Little River Warriors will be Caden Ackerman, Skylar Hill, Dalton Anderson, Chet Cordell, and I believe, trying to see who the fifth starter is, so we'll get that whenever he is introduced here. This tonight's ball game, and Ellenwood in their home white, blue numerals and letters outlined in red with a blue stripe going down the side, leading to a blue rectangle with a red square inside of it on the jersey top and the jersey bottom. The other starter is Dalton Conan for the Little River Warriors. He's the one that I was missing. The Warriors in their road black, white numerals outlined in red, a small triangle underneath the armpit, a red triangle leading at stops about midway through the jersey top, one red stripe on the back side of the leg, and then a red triangle on the front side of the leg for the Little River Warriors. That'll be what their jerseys look like in tonight's ball game, and this is another opportunity for this Ellenwood team to pick up a big victory and welcome Brett Whalen back from the starting lineup after an injury. And this is a Little River team with just 2 seniors and 2 juniors on their roster. Everybody else either a freshman or sophomore. Is Hill and Whalen. Get ready for the tip. Tip is up and actually goes off of Whalen's back. So we should have a re-jump. In fact, we do. Brett Whalen thought it was going over to Little River, but he's called back. for the tip here in tonight's ball game. Little River going from right to left. Ellenwood going from left to right in tonight's ball game. And the tip is up, controlled by Little River as Chet Cordell pulls in the rebound, and he's going to run the point over to Conant. And on the far wing to Hill. Inside goes Anderson, guarded by Whalen. Back outside to Ackerman. Shot is blocked and rolls all the way over to the scorer's table and pulled in by Conan. Back over to Hill, top key, over to Cordell on the far wing as Ackerman in the corner goes to him. Back over to Conan. Near the top of the key, over to Hill, across the top of the key. Kick ball, but rolls over to Ackerman. Puts up a pass over to Conan. Shot is up, no good. Pulled in by Whalen for the Eagles. Going back the other way is Kyle Corbett, who was held scoreless in the game on Tuesday at Corvera Heights with 22 points from Whalen, who has the ball now. Back over to Blakesley, around to Corbett on the far wing, up top to Gehring, over to Clausen on the near wing. Trying to find somebody to go to against the man defense. Back up top to Whalen. Has been known to hit a few threes in his time so far playing for Ellenwood. Corbett dribbles it back, guarded by Hill. Hill, the leading scorer for the Warriors in tonight's ball game, is Gehring on the far wing. Back up top to Whalen, guarded by Conan. Over to Blakesley out on the wing. Back to Whalen, over to Corbett on the near wing. Back up top to Blakesley, over to Whalen on the far wing. And Ellenwood running through their offense, trying to find a open shot as Gehring has it. Back up top to Blakesley. Thought about the three, but drives inside. I'm going to say a foul on the floor. This one should be on Dalton Anderson. And in fact, it was on Caden Ackerman coming from the backside. So Ackerman commits the first team foul, his first personal.
Exceptional patience by the Eagles in this first possession. Love to see it.
Gehring inside. Shot is up. No good. Pulled in by Anderson. As now Blakesley almost intercepts the pass, but draws a foul. He fouled Chet Cordell going for the pick. So that would be Kyle Blakesley's first team. And good effort by Blakesley going and trying to intercept the cross-court pass, but a little too aggressive. Ellenwood running the 1-3-1 zone. Back outside to Hill. Fires up the three off the front of the rim. No good. Tipped around and finally kicked back out to Hill. It was saved by Cordell. Inside goes Anderson. Back out to Cordell. Head fake at the free throw line. Kicked it over to Ackerman. Drives in. Splits double team. Back to Conan. Fires up the shot. No good. Tipped around. Pulled in initially by Whalen, but his rebound gets tipped out to Conan, who has it over. Gets it to Hill, who drives his baseline. Triple team, but back over to Cordell. Fires up the shot. No good. Pulled in by Gehring for Ellenwood. And good job of Ellenwood's defensive rebounds coming in. They're keeping the score tied at zeros with 5.5 to play in the first. A very quick pace. Early part of this first quarter is Whalen wanted to pick and roll, but Blakesley gets it inside to him on a post move, and Brett Whalen puts in his first 2 points of the night on a nice jump hook. And going back the other way, Corbett almost tipped it off of the Little River player, but it's going to stay with the Warriors right in front of the scorer's table. It's Hill set to check it into Ackerman.
Little extra step, jump in the Eagles' step tonight. They really have that pressure out and going.
Ackerman drives in the free throw line. Pull-up jumper is good. Aiden Ackerman with his first 2 points, tying the ball game up with 5 minutes to play in the first. Corbett walking the ball up the floor, and Ellenwood has been known to slow the pace down and trying to attack a scrappy press defense now at Hill. Initially kicked it out of bounds, but it'll stay over with Ellenwood as Hill was out of bounds when he touched it. Cale Clausen set to check it in. We'll go into Corbett behind the half-court stripe.
Little River extends their 2-3 zone into kind of a 1-2-2 press.
Blakesley inside to Whalen. Layup no good by Whalen. Missed the layup and pulled in by Cordell. Gets it ahead to Ackerman. Little River looking to run. Ackerman running the point. Gets it outside to Conan. Thought about the three. Gets it over to Cordell for the mid-range jumper. Rolls in. Get Cordell. His first bucket of the night just inside the three-point line. 4-2. Little River with the lead. 4:20 to play in the first quarter. Strap coming, gets to the head as Clausen goes to Gehring. Pass goes out of bounds, but last touch by the Warriors. Both teams subbing. Ethan Wright coming in for the Warriors and Patrick Ringering coming in for the Eagles is now checking in as Tevin Rinkin for the Warriors, sending Anderson to the bench.
One thing that'll help the Eagles out against this 1-2-2 is they've got to jump to meet the ball. Don't stand there and wait for it.
Blakely drives in the lane, and he gets called for the charge. Got the shot to fall, but Kyle Blakely picks up his second personal foul, second team foul, and let's say a tough foul call there for Kyle Blakely. Now he's got two, and Coach Duncan's going to have to make a change, sending Garrett Hayes to the scorer's table to check in for the first time. More than likely going to bring Blakely out of the ball game. And Hill goes over to right into the corner for Cordell. Back up top to Rinkin. Rinkin, yes. Oh, inside the Hill as he traveled the first Little River turnover. And that'll bring in Garrett Hayes, sending Kyle Blakely to the bench. So the main three-point shooter for this Ellenwood team is out of the ball game. It's Patrick Ringering running the point, gets it over to Corbett. Quickly double team back over to Ringering. Little River trying to scramble to get back. Corbett drives into the baseline, finds Gehring. He goes up with a shot off the backboard and no good. Missed shot, two missed layups now for Ellenwood. Going back the other way is Rinkin. Gets it over to Hill on the far wing, guarded by Chance Clausen. Back up top to Rinkin, over to Ackerman. Back over to Hill on the far wing, over to Cordell. Out on the far wing in front of the Ellenwood student section. Back to right, over to Rinkin. Nearly has the pass go through his hands. Gets it back. He drives in the lane. Layup no good and tipped around. Pulled in by Wright on the far wing by the Little River Warriors. Gets it over to Ackerman. Almost has his pocket pick. And he travels. He's second. Little River turnover now is good pressure defense by Corbett. Will force a timeout, and Coach Shane Duncan decides to take just a 30-second variety, and we're seeing a very aggressive Ellenwood team in this first quarter, and that's what they have to do to try to stay in this.
Timeout on the court. We would like to take this opportunity to thank tonight's sponsors, Next Tech Wireless and Star 107.9.
Could they turn the page from that Quivira Heights high onto this next game, and did they respect the Little River Redskins enough to come out here and compete with them tonight? And, Little River plays very hard. That's the one thing that's come across in this first 5 minutes of basketball. Ellenwood has to match that intensity.
Obviously, Little River showing that they're not afraid of Ellenwood, even though they had the big victory. Corbett now with it. Gets it over to Ringering. Mid-range jumper is off the front of the rim. No good. Pulled in and tipped out of bounds by Gehring. So they'll go over to Little River. Is now checking into the game is Trevor Smyers.
Patrick's got to get that ball up on his head and off his ear if he wants to hit jump shots. That's just not a very pretty shot. And as soon as he gets it on top of his head where it belongs, I think they'll start going in.
Cordell with it. Over to right, back up top to Hill. Looking for Renton on the far wing. Cross-court pass inside to Cordell. Puts up the mid-range jumper. Good. Jeff Cordell now with 4 points. 6-2. Ellenwood trailing by 4 to the Little River Warriors. 2:20 to play in the first quarter. Ringering with it back to Corbett at the top of the key. Inside to Garrett Hayes. Puts in the layup. Garrett Hayes with 2. 6-4. Ellenwood trailing by 2 with 2:10 to play in the first quarter. Renkin with it back over to Hill. Pass fake over to the outside. Back to right at the top of the key. Over to Cordell on the near wing. Guarded by the 1-3-1 zone. Back over to Renkin in the far corner. Back up top to Smyers. Over to Renkin on the near wing. Guarded closely by Corbett. Back over to right. Swings it around to Hill. Hill trying to find somebody inside, but gets it back out to Smyers. Smyers looking for Cordell on the far wing. Gets it back over to right. Back to Cordell at the top of the key. Into the corner for Hill. Fires up the three. Off the side of the rim and no good. Pulled in by Corbett. Corbett almost has his pass go out of bounds, but regains possession with 1.5 minutes to play. Quickly gets it ahead to Ringering. Ringering's attacking. He's going to go all the way. Thought about the shot. Kicked it back out to Corbett. Fires up the three. Got it to fall. Kyle Corbett from the top of the key. Knocking it down. 7-6. Ellenwood with a 1-point advantage. Their first lead of the night. Hill has it out on the far wing. Over to Cordell at the top of the key. Guarded closely by Cale Clausen. The new and energized Ellenwood defense trying to create a turnover. Myers has it in the corner. Tries to go inside. Stolen by Cale Clausen. First Little River turnover is now Kyle Corbett going to slow it down, get it ahead to Ringering. Over on the far wing going against the 1-2-2 zone. Clausen back to Ringering. Attacks the lane. Puts up the floater. No good. Pulls in his own rebound and draws a foul inside. I'm going to say it was on Ringering. I believe it's at least on Ellenwood. Will be their third personal. It's actually on Gehring, his first, with the push down low. So with 44 seconds to play in the first, Ellenwood still maintaining a 7-6 lead over the Little River Warriors.
I like what Shane Duncan's doing here, getting Brett Whalen back on the floor for the last 43 seconds here.
Ackerman over to Myers, guarded by Corbett. Back across court to Rinkin. Inside to Anderson, looking for somebody. Find Rinkin for three. Off the back iron, no good. Pulled in by Garrett Hayes. Good defensive rebound by the Eagles. 20 seconds to play in the first. They cling to a 1-point lead. Corbett walks the ball up the floor. Probably going to hold for the last shot. Over to Ringering. Calling out the play. Corbett maintains his spot on the far wing. And Ringering gets a screen from Hayes. Over to Corbett in the wing, on the corner. Back to Ringering at the top of the key. Cross-court pass to Clausen. Cross-court pass to Court. Fires up the three. Off the side of the rim. No good. That would have been the buzzer beater, but Galen Williams will take a 1-point advantage into the second quarter break over the Little River Warriors.
Kimball Furniture and Gifts is a proud sponsor of Ellenwood Eagle activities. As an icon of Ellenwood for many years, Kimball's continues to bring quality furniture, carpet, window treatments, floor coverings, and gifts to Central Kansas. Let staff at Kimball's help you with all of your home decorating needs.
Eagles taking on the Little River Warriors, and nightcap of a doubleheader in the earlier game. The Lady Eagles fell to the Lady Warriors, and it was a game that really nobody is a fan of Ellenwood wanted to see. It was a 40-point loss for the Lady Eagles. They had a tough night shooting the ball and had way too many turnovers, but their counterparts, the Eagles, the boys team, are playing fairly well here as we've played through one quarter. Ellenwood controls it out of the quarter break with Ringering over to Corbett, directing traffic to go against the 2-2-1 zone. Two players up top, two players in the middle, one player running the baseline. Also looks like a 3-2 at times. Corbett with it off the cross-court pass from Chance Clausen. Clausen back with it on the far wing. Cross-court pass again to Corbett. Back to Clausen, inside to Garrett Hayes. Puts up the fadeaway jumper off the back iron and no good. Pulled in by Myers for Little River. Myers going back the other way. Almost has it stolen by Corbett. A fight for it now. Clausen's going to come up with it. And they are going to stay. Looked as though it couldn't really tell what the call was. I don't believe there's a foul. It may have been a kicked ball as one of the Eagles kicked it while he was on the floor, allowing it to go to Clausen. So I believe Little River will retain possession as Anderson gets it over to Ackerman. Goes inside and lays it in. Caden Ackerman with his fourth point of the night, taking the lead back from Ellenwood. 8-7, 7 minutes to play in the first half. Corbett running the point out, directing Clausen to get to the other side of the floor, and he's going to call out the play. Clausen inside to Hayes. Quadruple teams. It goes to Hayes, excuse me. Whalen was the one with the pass going to Hayes, and good take by Garrett Hayes. You can draw a two-shot foul underneath and see the second team foul. First team foul on Kevin Rinkin.
From the minute they put on this 1-2-2 or 3-2 zone, I keep waiting for the Eagles to exploit the high post, and finally Brett Whalen flashes to the high post, dumps the ball down to Garrett Hayes, and Garrett Hayes works his way to the free throw line. Garrett Hayes lost some minutes the other night because he doesn't quite understand the new offenses they put in, but it's good to see him out there right now and getting himself to the free throw line. Ellenwood needs to continue to exploit the high post against this 1-2-2 or 3-2 zone.
Hayes' first shot was up. His second shot, both of them good, so he's got 4 points on the night. Now Cale Clausen checks into the game. He's going to send Hayes to the bench, and Ian Gehring comes back on as well, as now Ellenwood putting on their own version of a press. As Corbett guarding Ackerman tries to get a double team, and Cale Clausen steps in front of the pass and forces the fourth Little River turnover, 9-8. Ellenwood with the lead with 6.5 to play here in the first half. Chance Clausen kicks it over to Kyle Corbett. Still no Kyle Blakeslee. Clausen fires up the three off the side of the rim. No good. Not the shot you want to see in that situation, as it goes out of bounds, so over to Little River on the missed shot by Chance Clausen.
That's absolutely right, Travis. I love Chance. Works real hard, but that's not his shot, and that's not the shot they want against this zone right here.
Hill bringing the ball up the floor, going against the 1-3-1 zone. Anderson over to Hill. Top step into the lane. Good. Skylar Hill with his second point of the night. First shot to fall from the field is regaining control of the lead now. 10-9. Just under 6 to play here in the first half. Inside they go to Brett Whalen. Turnaround jumper is good. Brett Whalen showing off his skills with the turnaround fadeaway over a couple defenders, knocking in the bucket, taking the lead back 11-10 now. Ellenwood controlling the 1-point lead on Brett Whalen's fourth point. Over at Cordell in the far wing. Cross court up top to Conan. Inside to Ackerman, and his floater is good. 6 points now for Ackerman. 12-11. Little River regains the lead, and this has been a back-and-forth ball game. And Corbett gets it to Clausen. Cross-court pass is stolen by Conan. Just the first Ellenwood turnover of the night. And Hill takes it inside. Floater's up. No good. One of the foul, and Brett Whalen pulls in the rebound. Up court to Clausen. Chance Clausen with the scoop shot. He's going to draw the foul inside on Ackerman. That'll be Ackerman's second personal. Should be team third.
Excellent look by Brett Whalen up the court to his cousin Chance, getting the ball down to him. Now Chance up the free throw line. Take a deep breath. Knock him down, Chance.
First shot is up and good. Clausen gets his first point of the night. Tying the ball game up. We've seen a couple ties. Usually it's been a 1-point advantage for either team as they keep trading buckets. But now Clausen takes the lead back with his second point. And
here comes Ellenwood with that press off the make. They're going to do this all night long.
A 2-2-1 press with 2 guards up in the front court, 2 guys at half court, and then Brett Whalen manning the back defenses. Now Ackerman gets it ahead to Anderson. Anderson taking on Whalen. Tip pass is stolen originally by Cale Clausen, but could not hang on to it as Cordell has an open three. Steps into the free throw line, off the back iron, no good. Pulled in by Clausen underneath. Cale Clausen with the rebound, gets it off to Kyle Corbett. 13-12. Ellenwood with the 1-point advantage with 4:40 to play in the first half. Corbett calling out the play to attack the 3-2 zone of this Little River defense. Corbett into the corner for Blakeslee. Fires up the shot. Will be a 3, and it is. Kyle Blakeslee with his first 3 of the ball game. Stretching out a 4-point advantage now. 16-12. Ellenwood with the lead with 4:20 to play in the first half. Conan over to Hill. Swings it around to Cordell. Has Ackerman at the top of the key. Cordell puts a double team and lays it in. Jeff Cordell now with 6. He's the only other Warrior in double figures averaging on the season. Between him and Skylar Hill, they're putting up almost 26 points per game. Clausen has it, almost got the over and back, and nearly stolen by Hill, but gets it ahead to Blakeslee. Over to Gehring, has it go between his legs. He had an open shot, puts up a wild shot, almost rolls in, no good, and pulled in by Little River, and a foul called underneath on.
Might be Blakeslee. I'm afraid it is.
His third personal foul. He was going for the rebound, the 4th team foul, and Patrick Ringering checking back in the ball game. And he really likes seeing Blakeslee hit the big 3 in the corner. But now he's got 3 fouls, so he is out of the ball game now. More than likely, for the rest of the first half, we'll see him some of the second half. Hill brings the ball up the floor over to Ackerman for Little River. Back over to Rinkin, guarded by Corbett. Rinkin drives inside and travels. 5 Little River turnovers now on the ball game as Rinkin tried to hide the ball, but took one too many steps going up for the bucket and gets called for the travel.
Boy, defensively, Ellenwood struggled stopping the penetration. That's been a real problem. The defensive game plans to keep that ball out of the lane, and it hasn't happened so far.
Corbett into Clausen finds Whalen on the wing. Mid-range jumper is good. Brett Whalen now with 6 points. Whalen showing off his mid-range game as Corbett tips the pass out of bounds. Will stay with Little River. And Garrett Hayes comes in to the ball game. Hayes has 4. He will replace Brett Whalen. Still trying to recover from that knee injury. We're not going to see him play a full game for at least a couple more weeks as he's trying to get back into game shape with Cordell on the far wing with it back up to Rinkin. Has Ackerman on the far wing, goes to him, tries to go inside to Anderson, has his pass tipped away. Scrum for it down the floor on the far wing, and it's going to go over to Little River. It'll stay with Little River, as they're trailing now by 4, 18-14. 3 minutes to play in the second quarter.
You can see, Travis, Little River doesn't handle the ball especially well. It's something Ellenwood can take advantage of later on. I expect Shane Duncan to go back to Whalen about the last minute of this half.
Hill over to Ackerman, has it on the wing, drives baseline, guarded by Clausen and Gehring. Over to Anderson at the free throw line corner, back to Hill in the far corner, drives in, gets it over to Cordell. Puts a double team, puts up a floater, gets the roll in. Jet Cordell is feeling it in this ball game. 8 points now, cutting the lead to 16-18 now. It's Ringering with it, back over to Corbett. At the top of the key, dribbles past Hill, goes over to Ring on the far wing. Cross-court pass to Hayes, puts up the shot and good. Garrett Hayes putting in his 6th point on the night. Guy coming in the game averaging around 4 points a game has already put in 6. And great performance from him inside is now Cordell. Gets it back over to Hill, back over to Rankin on the far wing. Back to Ackerman at the top of the key, attacking the 3-2 zone of Ellenwood. Holding it, gets it over to Hill on the far wing. Over to Rankin in the far corner. Thought about the 3, does not take it. Gets it back to Hill on the far wing. Almost a steal by Corbett. Goes inside to Chet Cordell. He gets a wide open pass to Kevin Rankin. He puts in his first few points tonight. 20-18. Still a close ball game here. 1:40 to play in the first half. Ringering with it back over to Cordell in between. He circles back to Ringering at the far wing, attacking the 1-2-2 zone of Ellenwood. Corbett inside to Gehring at the high post. Up and shot no good. Pulled in by Anderson, and quickly Ackerman going the other way for Little River. Pulls up at the free throw line and finds Hill on the far wing. Dribbles to the top of the key over to Ackerman. Puts up a 3 off the side of the rim. No good. Pulled in by Ringering. They're going to call Ackerman on the foul. His 3rd personal, team 4th. So 2 players now for each team, or 1 player for each team with 3 personal fouls here with 1:10 to play in the first half. And Whalen checks back in the ball game and Cale Clausen to the bench.
Ackerman's 3rd foul. He's definitely got potential to go for big games. Scored 25 earlier this year. Hasn't been much of a factor tonight.
Corbett to Gehring, back to Ring on the far wing. Whalen, long range jumper, no good. Pulled in by Garrett Hayes. Puts up the shot and blocked and foul. This one should be on Dalton Conan inside. Excuse me, it is on Chet Cordell. He must have came from the baseline and got too much body. As Garrett Hayes will go to the free throw line for a couple more free throws. He hit his first 2. Air balls the first one, so it was a little bit short there as Hayes already with 6 points on the night. 2 of those coming from the free throw line. He's now 2 of 3 on the night.
I'm telling you what, Travis, if you don't have a favorite Eagle, Garrett Hayes might be the guy. He gets out there, he rebounds hard, missed some time not knowing the offense, came back tonight like nothing to it, and he's in this game and scoring, 7 points?
7 points now is right. Ahead to Anderson, tipped away and stolen by Ringering. The 6th Little River turnover, 40 seconds to play, 21-18 Ellenwood with the lead. Corbett mainly the point, going against the 3-2 zone of Little River. Garrett Hayes and Brett Whalen switch spots at the high post. Whalen wanting it inside, and Corbett's going to say, hey, let's back it off. Let's play for the last shot. No pressure up top by the Warriors, and Ringering and Corbett just going to play catch, waste a little time. 20 seconds to go here in the first half.
I would imagine this possession's going to go through Brett Whalen at some point.
With no Kyle Blakesley out on the floor, you're not really having a pure three-point shooter. Now, setting into motion is Ringering. Dribbling back to the top of the key. Hand off to Corbett. 3 seconds to shoot. Corbett has got to fire up a shot. Fires up the shot, and Shane Duncan wanting to call. He was mugged on the outside, and Coach Shane Duncan visibly upset with that. It was a smart play there by Corbett, going hard into the 2 defenders, and neither official standing out there decided to call a foul, and that'll end our first half. 21-18, Ellenwood with a 3-point advantage over Little River. When we come back, we'll have the Barton Community College halftime show here on Star 107.9.
Let the Marmies make it happen for you. 3 generations, 2 dealerships, 1 big selection. Whether you're looking for a car, a truck, a crossover, minivan, or SUV, we've got them. The choosing is easy. Come by and see us or visit us on the web at marmies.net. Check out our Ford, Lincoln, Mercury, and Chrysler Dodge Jeep inventories, and we'll put you in the vehicle that you want at the best prices in central and western Kansas. Marmies makes it happen with full value, big selection, and award-winning service. Come see us.
Whether you had planned to attend another college or weren't planning on attending college at all, it's not too late to enroll for classes at Barton Community College. Take one class or many classes, online or in person, GED classes, or perhaps get workforce training. Find what drives you at Barton. And if you are unsure what you want to do, Barton can help you with that as well. Campus tours are available, so call the admissions office today and get driven with Barton. Manweiler Chevrolet of Hoisington has been serving the Cheyenne Bottoms area for over 4 generations. When you're ready for a new truck or car, be sure to stop by Manweiler's and visit with Gene or the guys. They have a wide range of new trucks and new cars, plus a complete body repair shop and service department. Manweiler Chevrolet, in business for over 4 generations. Teal Printing offers a complete line of printing and promotional products. If you need business forms, computer forms, brochures, or just a few cups or pens, Teal Printing can do it all. With a tradition of excellence since 1967, Teal Printing is proud to serve the Ellenwood and Great Bend area. Teal Printing congratulates the Eagles on achieving teamwork, leadership, and good sportsmanship.
21-18, the Ellenwood Eagles have the 3-point advantage at the half over the Little River Warriors. And that's Travis Reese joined by Wes Baylor. And Wes, this has been a good, solid performance in the first half by the Eagles. We've seen good defensive pressure. So far, they've forced 6 Little River turnovers and holding this at just 18 points, holding their leading score to just 2 points. And, you know, this is really a completely different team than what we saw in 2010 without the presence of Brett Whalen.
Yeah, my only concern right now is they kind of let Little River hang around with 4 offensive rebounds. That's kind of counterbalanced the turnovers that they've forced. But you're right, Brett Whalen, if he hits the shots that he's hit tonight, he's an impossible matchup. He's got baseline on 1 or 2 with a hand in his face and made some nice post moves. And boy, he's a threat anywhere on the floor.
You know, a guy that doesn't get a lot of attention, but a guy that definitely should is a guy in Garrett Hayes, stepping into a role in this ball game and being kind of that number 3 post that this team is going to off the bench. He came in and gave Brett Whalen a spell, also came in and has given Cale Clausen and Ian Gearing spells as well. And he's got 7 points on the night, and really he's come out of nowhere and been a solid point producer.
Boy, what I love about Garrett is he didn't play a minute 1 at Quivira Heights because he really didn't quite understand the circle motion offense that they were running, so he didn't get a play at all. But he never hung his head. He never pouted about it or complained. And tonight when he gets his opportunity, there he is with 7 points. And, you know, right now a team leading 2 rebounds. It's not a lot, but it's a team lead. Garrett Hayes just does what you need him to do, and every team needs somebody like that.
It's definitely one of those guys that you just like to cheer for. He's not a very big guy, standing about 6'2", and undersized for the post position, but still having a good, successful run here in tonight's ball game.
And you know, another thing about Garrett, some of his buddies chose not to play basketball. He had some really good friends that aren't out here. They aren't a part of this basketball team, but he didn't let that change his mind. He's still out here, and he's having a heck of a season.
You gotta love the guy that just puts it all on the floor, game in and game out. And another asset of this ball game that Ellenwood is having great success in, they only have 2 turnovers on the night. I don't know the last time I've seen a team commit 2 turnovers in 1 half. That is a great feat, and that's usually going to result in a victory at least, if not a victory, a very close game and a chance to win the ball game.
That's the first half of being efficient with the basketball, is not turning it over. And Ellenwood really hasn't faced much pressure from Little River. It's kind of a half-court extended pressure, kind of like what the Ellenwood girls do on occasion. But they haven't had the unforced turnovers, and they've really done a good job with shot selection. You can't think back to too many shots where you think, boy, that just wasn't a very good shot. So Ellenwood's doing the things they need to do to win this ball game. If they can clean up some maybe struggles on the offensive glass, they could win this thing walking away.
This is a team that in the early part of the season, they were a team led by the two guys between Blakesley and Corbett, averaging a lot of points and doing the bulk of the scoring. Now with a guy like Brett Whalen, who has come into the mix, it provides a different element, and the two guys.
I got the magic in me.
Welcome, Eagle fans, to the halftime show. We have veteran debate coach Mrs. Jacobs with us today. So, Mrs. Jacobs, can you start off by telling us about a typical semester for debaters?
Yes, Montera. We start in July or August when we learn about our new topic and we start gathering our research. In many years past, we've been able to host a veteran debate coach, Mrs. Tam Osgood from Kansas City, for a debate workshop, and we did that again this year in August. So she came and gave us a day of lectures about our new topic, and that was really beneficial. And then the students start their photocopying and researching and filing and preparing strategies for both affirmative and negative. And then obviously most of our meets are in September, October, and November. And my new assistant, Mrs. Angela Peterson, was very helpful during that part of the season this year. And then as we've gotten into December and January, we're also starting to make the transition to forensic season. So most of my varsity debaters are also working on upcoming forensics events. And then obviously we're preparing for state debate here in about a week and a half.
Can you tell us about the topic this year?
Yes, our topic has to do with U.S. military presence overseas. And so what we're having to do in our affirmative positions is say that our troops need to be withdrawn from certain hot spots, in particular Iraq and Afghanistan, and then in a couple of other maybe less known places like Japan or Turkey where there's not as much conflict right now.
All right. And how was this year's topic challenging?
Well, it's been challenging because information changes every day, obviously, about our strategies in Iraq and Afghanistan. So we've really had to stay on top of news and current events. And when we've prepared certain strategies, they've become obsolete really quickly because of changes that have happened in, policies and in current events. So we've really had to stay up to date as far as all of those latest issues.
What were some of your goals for the team this year?
Well, like in a lot of years past, a really reasonable goal for us to set that's really attainable is to qualify all of our varsity competitors for state competition. We were successful with that. Again, this year we met that goal. So all 5 of my varsity competitors qualified for state. Montera herself is one of those people, Montera Johansson, and then her partner is Carly Newkirk. And then I have 3 sophomores also qualified for state, Connor Berzer, Hannah Maddie, and Jenna Snell.
All right, and what challenge was faced with the qualifying?
Well, something that is unique to us this year, and has happened in a couple of other instances, is that we had an odd number of varsity competitors. So I'm really proud of my team and that they showed a lot of patience and flexibility about their pairings. I don't know if our viewers know, but people have to debate in pairs or in partners. So when you have an odd number, it can be kind of challenging because it means you have to rotate people in and out. And my 3 sophomores and my 2 seniors were very flexible with that this year. Everybody debated with multiple different partners, and then we're actually able to medal in a lot of different combinations. So that was really rewarding when we could actually medal in competitions with some people who weren't used to debating with each other.
And state's coming up in a week and a half. What's your outlook on that?
Well, we're really excited about our state competition. Ellenwood has had a rich tradition in a lot of years of getting at least one of our teams to the quarterfinal round, and in a few instances even to the final round and to winning the state championship. So I think it is reasonable to think that one or both of our teams could make it to that advanced quarterfinal round. But if not, still a 50-50 win-loss record is what we're always shooting for. State's very challenging. Our competition is very formidable. But if you can win half your rounds, that always makes you feel good about your season.
All right. Well, thank you for your time, and good luck to the debaters.
When I hit the floor, the girls come snapping at me. Now everybody wants to press the magic, 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 magic.
Thank you for your time, and we'll talk to you on Tuesday. All right. That was girls coach That was girls coach Bill Duncan as his team fell earlier on tonight, 51-19 to the Little River Lady Warriors. And that will wrap up our Barton Community College halftime show as we're ready to start the second half now of the boys game as Ellenwood with the 21-18 lead. Little River will have possession out of the halftime break, and Ellenwood quickly going back to the press as Hill breaks it. Pump fake inside, but leaves it short. Britt Whalen pulls in the defensive rebound, and Skylar Hill is having a tough night shooting the ball, just 2 points, and Ellenwood's defense playing very well against them as Kale Clausen cross-court pass to Corbett, fires up the three. Got it to fall. Kyle Corbett, 6 points now, stretching out a 6-point lead. Cordell going back the other way for Little River. His shot is up and no good, pulled in by Gearing. They're going to call in a foul inside on Little River, and quickly Ellenwood out with a tremendous pace, knocking down a three and sparking the crowd and sparking his team a little bit.
Boy, it's a good thing that one went in because there's never a bad shot that goes in, but that was an ambitious shot by Kyle that he knocked down.
Dalton Anderson picking up the foul, his first, team's first here in the second half. Corbett bringing it up the floor again, and a thing of note, Garrett Hayes in the starting lineup in the second half as he gets the tip pass from Corbett, goes back to Corbett, gets to Cale Clausen. No Blakesley, he has 3 fouls, and Cale Clausen commits the third Ellenwood turnover as Hill steals the ball from him, and it'll be a foul on Ellenwood going the other way. It'll be on Corbett, his first, team's first. And, that's a sloppy play there from Clausen leading to the third Ellenwood turnover, and now they have to go back on defense with the 1-3-1 Corbett. Guarding Ackerman, who has it on the wing. Go over to Hill in the corner. Double team by Clausen and Gearing. Inside to Whalen. Shot is blocked by Whalen. Good job putting the hand up and sitting that one back. And Anderson coming up a little bit limp, but he's going to hustle back the other way as Clausen on the wing. Goes inside to Whalen. Turnaround hook shot a little bit short off the hand of Hayes and pulled in by Clausen. There will be a foul inside on Little River. It'll be on Ackerman. And quickly, Ackerman with 4 fouls now on the second team foul here in the second half, and that's a big loss for this Little River team.
You would think Caden Ackerman's done till late in the fourth. Opportunity for Ellenwood to really push this lead out.
Corbett for 3. Can he get another? No. It's off to Cale Clausen, but back to Corbett at the top of the key. He drives into the lane, gets it to Whalen. Quick shot up and no good. Pulled in by Garrett Hayes. Puts the put back up off the rim and no good, and pulled in by Anderson. Quickly ahead to Hill for Little River going the other way. With hesitation move across court to Rinkin. Stolen by Corbett as the pass was going to Cordell, and he misses a layup on the far end. The 7th Little River turnover is Cordell bringing it back the other way. Quickly goes into the lane, no good. Tipped out by Gearing. His attempt to save it is no good, and it's going to stay with Little River. A lot of action here in just a handful of seconds. 6:05 to play here in the third quarter, and 24-18. Ellenwood.
Ellenwood had 2 opportunities to extend that lead, could not do it.
Conan for 3, no good, and tipped around, finally pulled in by Cordell. Double team by Whalen and Clausen, and Clausen gets the steal as Whalen comes up with it. 8 Little River turnover so far, and Corbett going back the other way. Clausen drives in the lane, puts up the shot, wanted the foul, no good, pulled in by Rinkin. Hill goes ahead, and he steps out of bounds. They're going to stay, and
that's a little out of control by Cale on the other end, and I think he's going to be leaving the floor for it.
Ring-a-ring checks into the ball game, and in fact, Clausen going to the bench and a little upset with himself there, but it was still a good aggressive take. You like to see that from one of your leaders on the team, as Ring-a-ring has his pass tipped, but gets it to Corbett anyway. As Corbett goes baseline, guarded by Conan, roller up, no good, pulled in by Gearing. His shot's no good. Fight for it down low, and a jump ball inside. And it'll stay with the Eagles on the possession arrow as Ring-a-ring calling out the play inside on the baseline for the Eagles. Back up top to Corbett. Corbett over to Ring-a-ring. Inside to Gearing. Powers up a shot and gets it the ball. Ian Gearing with his first points of the night. 26-18. 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Now Cordell drives the baseline. Shot blocked by Whalen. But that'll be his first personal foul. swung the arm just a little bit too hard there, but still good aggressiveness.
Yeah, it's a good job by Brett closing off the baseline. Didn't give him an easy walk down the baseline there. You know, Chuck Cordell's had a great first half. He's a very athletic kid. He's really holding Little River in this ball game right now almost by himself.
Cordell gets his first shot to roll off of the rim. It looked as though it was going in, so he'll miss his first one. We're seeing now Blakely check into the game for the first time, so the pure three-point shooter who knocked down a good shot in the corner but has 3 fouls, so he has to be very cautious defensively. He can still play aggressively as a second shot is up and no good, so Cordell goes over on his attempt, pulled in by Ellenwood. Now Corbett walking the ball up the floor, attacking the 3-2 zone of this Little River team. Over to Blakely in the corner for 3 off the side iron, no good. Tipped around and a scrum for it as it goes out. About 3 guys going down as Ringering and Gehring were fighting for it. And
boy, Ian Gehring is everywhere right now. He went crashing in there and almost controlled that rebound. Kyle Blakely, a very intelligent basketball player, going to have to be very judicious about how he plays this rest of this third quarter in any part of the fourth that he gets into.
Hill over to Cordell on the near wing. Back to Rinkin in the corner. Back to Ryan at the top of the key. Back to Rinkin. Thought about the 3 for a second. Over to Hill. He'll take a 3 from the top of the key. Off the front rim and no good. Pulled in by Garrett Hayes. Off of Little River and out of bounds. So good job by Hayes of at least pulling in the rebound before it was tipped out of bounds.
Garrett Hayes is controlling that inside. He's been a physical force in there. Not the tallest guy in the world, but he's going to battle every minute he gets out there.
Ringering with it. Waiting for the press. It's tipped away by Hill. Ringering and Hill fighting for it. Hill. Ringering comes up with it. Gets it ahead to Corbett. Goes to Garrett Hayes underneath the basket. Good. Garrett Hayes putting in his 9th point of the night. And quickly, Little River going back the other way. And that's a charging call inside as Kyle Blakely picks up the charge. And that'll be the 4th team foul on the Little River Warriors. And it is on. It'll be on Rinkin, his second, team 3rd.
Kyle Blakely leads this team by a large margin in drawing charges. He's approaching double figures in that category already this early in the season.
It was the 11th Little River turnover as Gehring with it on the near wing. Gets it up to Corbett at the top of the key. Flipped and tipped away by Hill. The 4th turnover as Hill goes up, lays it in. That is just Skylar Hill's 4th point of the night.
I keep waiting for Skylar Hill to get it going. I didn't think Little River would be able to hang around without a good game from Skylar Hill, and he's only got 4. He could explode at any moment, though. He is the best basketball player by far from the scouting report that I got for the Little River Redskins.
A little bit of moisture on the floor that caused Corbett to slip and fall, forcing the 4th Ellenwood turnover. Is now Whalen checks back into the ball game. Hilton Hayes to the bench, so almost the original starting 5 on the floor, with the exception of Ringering in for Cale Clausen. The 2 Kyles, Whalen and Gehring, and Ringering round up the 5 on the floor now. It's a trap in the backcourt as Blakely has it, picks up his dribble, and he needs somebody to find it to. Ringering gets it ahead to Corbett, trying to get it across half court, nearly stolen away, and finally ripped away by Wright, the 5th Ellenwood turnover. They fight for inside. Hill goes up with a turnaround jumper, and that's going to be the 4th personal foul on Kyle Blakely. There looks to be a little bit of contact at half court between the guys fighting for the ball, but that'll be Blakely's 4th personal foul, and that is a huge, huge loss for this team.
Well, things kind of broke down there with the turnover at half court. I wish Kyle would have just looked ahead and thrown the pass instead of putting the ball on the floor, but that's all in the past right now. Skylar Hill at the free throw line. See if he can get his night started maybe with the free throw here.
28-20, Ellenwood with the 8-point advantage. 3:24 to go in the third quarter. Hill, second shot is up and good. He did miss the first one, so goes 1 of 2 from the line. He's got 5 points on the night. Ringering with it. Breaks the trap and gets it ahead. Guarded by Cordell. They're going to say he dribbled it out of bounds. Shane Duncan was wanting the blocking foul, and now he's giving some instructions to Cale Clausen. Visibly upset.
Might be a good time for a timeout, Travis. Things are kind of coming unraveled a little bit for the Eagles.
Hill with it on the wing. Inside to Anderson at the free throw line. Back out to Brett. Throws it away, but pulled in by Hill. Nearly the 12th Little River turnover. Is Hill with it now. Back over to Rinkin at the top of the key. Over to Wright. Goes inside to Anderson at the high post. Back out to Cordell. Thought about the three. Gets it to Rinkin. He'll take the three. And inside, we'll have to see if this one should count. As it does, Rinkin gets the three to fall. Basket is good, and there's a foul inside on Whalen. His second, team's third. And just like that, it's a 4-point game. 28-24, and Coach Duncan wants a timeout. We'll take it with him. 28-24, 2:54 to go in the third quarter. Ellenwood with the lead on Star 107.9.
Looking to preserve the fish that didn't get away or mount that trophy buck? Call taxidermy artist Greg Maxwell of Ellenwood, known throughout Kansas for his quality work and attention to detail. He is the must call for all your taxidermy needs. That's Maxwell Taxidermy of Ellenwood, 620-564-3699.
Ride around with old Huck Finn, take a nap like Rip Van Winkle, they streaming again. Oh, play me some.
A player on each team, Blakeslee and Ackerman, each with 4 personal fouls, and those are really 2 guys on either of these teams, so we'll have to see how these teams adjust to playing without them. And Hill will key it in after the Coach Duncan timeout. Throws it through the legs of Cordell, but gets it out to Rinkin, who fires up the three. Partially tipped, no good. It pulled in by Hill. He gets the offensive putback, his 7th point. And Little River fans wanting a foul on the outside on Rinkin's three-pointer. And Corbett trapped in the corner, gets it ahead to Clausen. He's got to find somebody to get it to before the 10-second call. Ring finally gets it ahead. Double team there as well. It fires it up to Gearing. Back out to Corbett. Thought about the three. Hesitates. Gets it over to Ringering. Back to Corbett. Over to Ringering. Back now on the near wing. Dribbles up to the top of the key. Flips it over to Corbett. Back to Ringering. Gearing and Clausen and Whalen inside working the post. Whalen with a turnaround jumper. No good. Pulled in by Clausen on the rebound. Goes up with a shot. His shot is no good. Again, pulled in now by Rinkin of Little River. Rinkin's flowing it back up, getting over to Hill, running the point guard.
2-point lead for the Eagles. They have to get a stop here defensively. That might be the most impressive juncture of the game right there offensively. Little River had things sped up on the press, but Ellenwood didn't force the issue on offense.
Hill inside and trapped it. Well, Little River turned over as Garrett Hayes checks back in the ball game, and Hill got bumped going to the double team. Both feet didn't come down at the same time, so he gets called for travel. There's now Chance Clausen will check into the game as well. He'll send Gearing to the bench, so a little bit of shakeup now, going with a 3-guard, 2-forward look with Hayes, Whalen, Corbett, Clausen, and Ringering out on the floor. Ringering gets it ahead to Corbett. 3-on-2. Corbett goes all the way, finds Hayes, but a kick ball out of bounds by Cordell. It'll stay with Ellenwood out of bounds.
Against this diamond press, Ellenwood just has to be disciplined to run the press breaker. They can handle it fine if they stick with the press breaker.
Corbett out on the wing off the inbound pass from Ringering. Over to Chance Clausen. Back to Corbett on the near wing. In front of Coach Shane Duncan. Goes cross court to Chance Clausen on the bounce pass. Inside to the high post is Hayes. Quick turnaround. Thought about the shot with Whalen. Back out to Corbett as he didn't really like the look he had. Whalen back inside. Hook shot up and rolls in. Brett Whalen now with 8 points on the night. 30-26. 1:10 to play in the third quarter is right. Back up the floor. Cordell goes inside and gets it over to Hill. Fires up the shot. Good. Skylar Hill now with 9-7 in the third quarter. Corbett ahead. Pass tipped and thrown back to Cordell as a great save by Rinkin. That's the 6th Ellenwood turnover as Cordell drives into the high post area. Back out to Hill, who takes a couple steps and drives inside, puts up the floater and good. Skylar Hill catching fire. He's got 9 in this third quarter as he's got 11 on the night. Pass ahead and thrown out of bounds by Clausen, going for Hayes in a tie ball game. Coach Duncan's not pleased. 30-30. 34 seconds to play in the third quarter. Ellenwood and Little River locked in a tight battle here. As we're going to see some new players come into the game and do not have a number for the guy who just checked in. So I'm not entirely sure who he is. So maybe we hear from the PA announcer, we'll let you know. It's Rinkin attacking the 2-3 zone over to right. Right back to Rinkin, who gets it right back to right on the wing. Up jump to Rinkin near the half-court stripe. Over to Myers, who's in the ball game with Conan and Wright. As Rinkin drives in the lane, has a shot, has the ball go off his leg, and a blocking foul inside on Gehring. That'll be Gehring's second, team's fifth. So with 5 seconds left to play in the third quarter, it's still a 30-30 ball game.
Can't let anybody flash to the baseline here. Nothing easy off this inbound.
Conan on the outside fires up the three, off the side of the rim, and no good. Over the back, possibly could be the call on Conan, and it looks as though it is. It's Conan going over the back, his first, team's fourth. 2 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Ellenwood has just got to get the ball inbound and hope for a quick heave. Corbett fires up a shot, but no good. 30-30. We have basically a brand new ball game going into the fourth quarter. Ellenwood and Little River locked up at 30 here on Star 107.9.
Dove Chevrolet Buick and Cadillac supports Ellenwood Eagle Athletics. When you're ready to make your next...
Kimball Furniture and Gifts is a proud sponsor of Ellenwood Eagle activities. As an icon of Ellenwood for many years, Kimball's continues to bring quality furniture, carpet, window treatments, floor coverings, and gifts to Central Kansas. Let staff at Kimball's help you with all of your home decorating needs.
A juncture in the ball game where you have to have your best for 8 minutes. Leave it all out on the floor.
That's absolutely right. The last 2 days, all I've heard about is about Skylar Hill, and he came alive in that third quarter. And now it's going to be, can Ellenwood stick with the team composure and have their five beat Skylar Hill, or will they let things break down and evolve into a one-on-one? Ellenwood doesn't need heroes. They need all 5 players to do what they've done for 3 quarters, and they're going to walk out of here with a win.
Skylar Hill put up 8 points in that last quarter alone. He now has 11. As inside to Anderson, goes out to Myers, who drives baseline and steps out of bounds. He's 13th. Little River turnover on the night, and that's one thing Ellenwood has excelled at in this ball game, is limiting the turnovers. They just had 6 compared to 13 from Little River.
Interesting, Little River would take off the press. Ellenwood was struggling a little bit with that.
Corbett with it. Tries to find Gehring on the wing and does. Gehring has a guy inside, and Whalen wanted the ball, but Gehring goes over to Corbett on the far wing, dribbles it back to the near wing, almost has it poked away by Hill, but regains possession. Back to Whalen on the far wing. Trying to find somebody, finds Garrett, and they're going to call a hold inside. Looks to be on Little River. Will be there. It'll be on Dalton Anderson, his first, his second, team's fourth.
So crucial for Ellenwood to just continue to be patient offensively.
Whalen with it at the top of the key. Tries to go backdoor for Clausen, but has it tipped out of bounds, and will stay with Ellenwood. A good idea by Whalen, but Clausen not looking for it, as it'll stay with the Eagles. Clausen set to key it in. Ellenwood going with more of a 4-post look with Clausen keying it into Corbett. Fires up the 3 off the side of the rim, and no good. Pulled in by Garrett Hayes. And kicks it back out to Ian Gehring. Swings it around to Corbett, who has Whalen in the middle of the lane. Pull-up jumper, no good. Tipped around and out of bounds. It'll stay with Ellenwood. So again, the Eagles regaining possession, and Ellenwood going with Cale Clausen, Brett Whalen, Ian Gehring, Garrett Hayes, and Kyle Corbett So a 4-post, 1-guard look, and Corbett with it at the top of the key. Fires up an open three. Got it to fall. Kyle Corbett now with 9. Taking the lead back from the Little River Warriors. It is 33-30. Whalen gets it to Anderson, who drives in the lane, blocked by Whalen and pulled in by Corbett. Good job by Whalen of timing the block and scrub for the ball, and it is going to go out of bounds. Corbett dives to save it, but it'll go over to Ellenwood in a fight there for the loose ball, and Ellenwood eventually comes up with possession.
Game's getting a little raggedy here. The main thing Ellenwood needs to keep the horses back, keep that composure. I'm surprised Little River's not pressing, trying up that tempo.
Corbett bringing the ball to the floor, attacks against Hill, over to Whalen on the near wing, guarded by Conan, over to Hayes, swings it around to Corbett, who gets it off to Gearing, to Clausen on the near wing. 6:20 to play in the ball game, 3-point lead as Corbett has it inside, tipped away by Hill, but they're going to call him for the that should be Skylar Hill's first personal, 6th team foul. So now Ellenwood will be shooting bonus shots on the next team foul for Little River is now Ackerman and Renkin check back into the ball game. They'll send Myers and Conan to the bench. Garrett Hayes set to key it in, finds Corbett at the top of the key, drives in the lane, puts up a floater and gets it to fall. Kyle Corbett now with 11 after going scoreless on Tuesday. Hill quickly brings the ball up the other way, guarded by Clausen. Renkin has it up top of the key, over to Ackerman on the far wing. Back to Cordell at the top of the key, guarded up top by Clausen. Drives into the lane, fakes the shot, kicks it out to Hill. Hill fires up the 3. Good. Skylar Hill now with 14 points on the night. He's clawing the Little River Warriors back into this game. 35-33. 5:45 to play in the ball game.
Skylar Hill averaging 14.5 on the year. Getting close to that, but he's definitely a very good scorer.
Clausen trapped in the corner. He tries to go to Hayes, Gearing on the far wing, and they're going to possibly call a foul here inside. And it'll be on Chet Cordell, his second, 7th team foul. So it's almost 5.5 to play in the ball game. Ellenwood holding on to a 2-point advantage, and Ian Gearing has a chance to knock in a couple free throws and stretch us out to a 4-point advantage as Kyle Blakesley is set to check back in. He's got 4 fouls as Gearing knocks in his first free throw. He's got 3 on the night.
Ian Gearing not the best free throw shooter on the team. I think that's one reason Kyle Blakesley may be getting some early minutes here, is because this thing has turned into the bonus, and he's probably the first or second best free throw shooter on this team.
Gearing's second shot off, it's no good. Rebound, tipped around and pulled in by Ackerman for Little River. So Gearing goes 1 of 2 as Ackerman gets it to Hill. Back out to Ridkin. Cross court to Cordell. He fires at the mid-range jumper. No good. Rebound pulled in by Anderson. Shot up and good. He's going to draw the foul and get the bucket to fall. Dalton Anderson puts in his first 2 points of the night. But in the lead now down to 1. So that free throw that Gearing missed is mightily important at this stage of the ball game. Dalton Anderson will go to the line. He is a 50% free throw shooter on the season. Anderson, first shot is up and off the back iron, no good. Tipped around and pulled in by Cale Clausen. Anderson misses his first one, and Corbett with it now running the point for this Ellenwood team. 5:10 to play in the ball game. Ellenwood clinging to a 1-point lead at 36-35. Corbett drives to the baseline inside to Ian Gearing. Quick turnaround jumper is good. Ian Gearing now with 5 on the night.
Kyle did an awesome job of using the pick there to get that ball into Ian Gearing.
Hill on the outside to Renkin. Back to Hill at the top of the key. Over to Renkin on the wing. Thought about the 3. Back to Hill at the top of the key. Drives into the lane. Wide open shot. Tipped initially by Gearing, and they're going to say he got too much of the body. Ian Gearing picks up his 3rd personal foul. 6th team foul on the night. That's another tough foul there for Ellenwood, the 7th team foul. So both teams in the single bonus at this point in the ball game.
Coach Duncan not going back to Brett Whalen just yet.
Hill's first shot was up and good. He's got 15 all night, so just above his average at 14.9. He's a 72% free throw shooter. He's knocked in 2 of 3 so far tonight. Second shot up and good as well. Skylar Hill goes a perfect 2 of 2 for the line. He's got 16, cutting the lead now to 2 at 38-36. Ellenwood with 2-point advantage, 4:40 to play, and they press, put back on Blakely. Flips it, goes through a couple, 3 defenders, and gets it to Hayes. Puts up the shot, blocked inside by Conan, and he throws it off of the foot of the Little River defender, and a heads-up play there by Garrett Hayes, keeping the ball with Ellenwood 38-37 after the last Skylar Hill free throw.
There's a dimension we haven't seen with Kyle Blakely not on the floor. He broke that press all by himself.
Pass tipped away and stolen by Wright. Wright has an open lane to the layup, but pulled in by Hayes. Stolen by Hayes. A 14th Little River turnover and gets it back to Corbett. It's now Corbett running the point, trying to break the press. Rinkin putting a little bit of a body on him and gets it over to Blakely. As he drives in the lane, wrap around, pass to Hayes up, and shot is no good. He draws a foul. Garrett Hayes is going to go to the line where he is 4 of 5 on the night so far. He's got a chance to stretch out at least a 3-point lead here as the foul inside is going to be on Wright. Ethan Wright picks up his first personal 18 fouls. Skylar Hill sits checks back into the ball game on the next dead ball as Garrett Hayes gets the first shot to rim out. Garrett Hayes, a tough break there at the line. He is now 3 of 5 on the night, and Wright will take a seat on the bench as Skylar Hill checks into the ball game.
I'm telling you what, Travis, tonight this is Garrett Hayes' world, and we're all just spectators in it. He has done some wonderful things in this ball game.
Hayes has 10 points on the night. The second Eagle in double figures. Kyle Corbett has 11. Skylar Hill on the outside over to Conan. Back to Cordell on the wing. Over looking for Ackerman and finds him. Fakes inside, gets it over to Hill. Fires up the 3. Can he get it to fall? No good off the side of the rim. Pulled in by Whalen. Going up over the shorter Garrett Hayes, but it's still a good rebound by Whalen. Corbett, bringing the ball up the floor for Ellenwood. Trying to set up some offense, leading by 2. Whalen almost has the pass stolen by him, by Hill, but Corbett, open lane to the bucket, fouled inside by Conan. That'll be the 9th team foul underneath for the Little River Warriors. That was on Cordell, so that'll be his 3rd personal 9th team foul. And Corbett goes to the line to shoot a pair as Ring will check in on the next after this free throw. First shot is up and good by Corbett, so his first free throw of the night falls. He's got 12.
As a 3-year starter, head coach Shane Duncan couldn't pick another guy he'd want more at the free throw line than Kyle Corbett.
Second shot up and good as well. So Corbett knocks in both. He's got 13 points on the night. Ring guarding the Little River as it's Cordell going inside and he travels. 15th Little River turnover. And Cordell took 1 too many steps going inside, 3.5 to play. A 4-point lead now for Ellenwood, 41-37 over the Little River Warriors. Blakely breaks the press, gets it ahead to Cordell. 3-on-2. Cordell goes straight up, gets the rebound to go off, but pulled in by Blakely. He puts the foot back up, and then Kyle Blakely now with 5 points on the night. Going back the other way. Skylar Hill for the Warriors. Goes to Cordell at the top of the key, tries to break down Ring. Almost gets past him, almost had a guy inside, but double teamed by Gearing and Ring. Throwing the elbows around, trying to get some separation. Stolen away by Blakely. Corbett. 16 Little River turnovers now. Kyle Corbett with under 3 minutes to play. He is controlling this offense for the Ellenwood Eagles. They have a 6-point lead at 43-37. Hill tips the pass out of bounds and to stay with Ellenwood on the far corner of the court, right in front of the student band for Ellenwood. As Blake set to key this one in.
Skylar Hill went for a steal from behind. That's one of his fortes. He's really good at that.
Whalen at the free throw line. Pull-up jumper off the backboard. No good. Pulled in by Rinkinen. Whalen not having quite the game he had on Tuesday, but a solid performance nonetheless as Ackerman over to Rinkin to Cordell on the wing. Tries to find Rinkin at the middle of the lane, but goes off to Ackerman. Rinkin in the corner for 3. Off the side iron and no good. Originally pulled in by Ackerman underneath, and they're going to call a foul inside on Ian Gearing. Should be his 4th, and indeed it is. 4th personal, 8th team foul. Ackerman will go to the line where he is just a 57% free throw shooter. And this is a team that you want to get into a close game because their best free throw shooter on the team A Skylar Hill is only averaging 72% on the season. There's a full timeout on the floor. We will take it as well as Ellenwood leads by 6, 43-37.
Looking to preserve the fish that didn't get away or mount that trophy buck? Call taxidermy artist Greg Maxwell of Ellenwood, known throughout Kansas for his quality work and attention to detail. He is the must call for all your taxidermy needs. That's Maxwell Taxidermy of Ellenwood, 620-564-3699.
Ride around with old Huck Finn, make a nap like Rip Van Winkle, they streaming again. Oh, play me some.
For a team that has fought back and has really hung around this entire game, and it's more than likely going to come down to free throw shooting in this ball game.
Well, and Ellenwood should have an advantage there, but, you know, paper doesn't win ball games. Ellenwood's still going to have to toe the line and put them in when it comes down to time.
Ackerman will go to the line. He's just a 57% free throw shooter on the season. First shot is up and off the back iron, no good. Pulled in by Clausen. Cale Clausen with a big rebound there, keeping Little River off the board and preserving a 6-point lead. Corbett almost has his pass stolen away, and finally it gets into the hands of Cale Clausen after a couple Little River players fumbled with it. Corbett, runner in the lane, scored. Kyle Corbett with 15 points now, 45-37, 2 minutes to play. Ellenwood with the 8-point advantage. Hill into the corner for Conant, guarded by Clausen. Back to Hill, back to Rankin. Fakes it. Ackerman drives in the lane, scoop shot up and blocked by Whalen. Back to Conant on the wing. Fires up the shot, no good. Pulled in by Ackerman. Blocked, but fouled up by Whalen. His third personal 19 foul now as Ackerman will go to the line trying to avenge a missed free throw on his last possession.
Well, Brett Whalen, he'll tell you maybe the strength of his game is not defense, but he's come up with 3 big blocks in this game. I thought that was a fourth right there.
Ackerman misses another free throw. He's now 0-2 from the line. He's just a 57% free throw shooter. He does have 6 points on the night, all of those in the first half. The second one does fall, so he's got 7 now. Ellenwood trying to break the press from Little River as they get it ahead to Corbett. Head to Whalen, and he lays in the shot. Good. Brett Whalen with his 10th point on the night. 45-38, 1.5 minutes to play as Cordell puts up the quick shot in the lane. Pulled in by Conan. There's going to be a foul inside. Looks to be on Ellenwood again, and this one might be on Blakely, and if it is, that is his 5th.
Boy, Kyle, I think is fouled out of 2 other games. And I hate to see Kyle walk to the bench right now because he's one of those strong free throw shooters, a great aggressive ball handler, somebody that's going to be out there when the press is on. Kyle Blakely will be missed this last minute, 27.
Key thing is it was just a 1-and-1 foul, so they do have a chance to still pull in a rebound. And in fact, they miss it, and Brett Whalen pulls in the rebound. So Conan misses the front end of the 1-and-1, and Corbett has it now. Guarded closely, stolen by Conan, and they're going to call a foul on Corbett for the loose ball push. Shoved Cordell a little bit. That'll be 2nd personal foul, 10th team foul on Corbett. So now it'll be 2 shots. That is key. Both teams now in the double shot bonus as Chad Lafferty decides to take a full timeout to talk about it. We'll take it as well. 47-38, Ellenwood with the lead over Little.
Kimball Furniture and Gifts is a proud sponsor of Ellenwood Eagle activities. As an icon of Ellenwood for many years, Kimball's continues to bring quality furniture, carpet, window treatments, floor coverings, and gifts to Central Kansas. Let staff at Kimball's help you with all of your home decorating needs.
Little River Warriors with 1:18 to play. And we have
Travis, Little River can't win this ball game right now unless Ellenwood helps them out. If Ellenwood hits their free throws, they leave this building tonight with a win. There's no way back for Little River unless Ellenwood allows them back into this game.
Chet Cordell will be at the line. He is just a 43% free throw shooter on the season. So, again, I talked about it earlier. The best free throw shooter on the team is Skylar Hill at 72%. So not a strong free throw shooting team. But I can tell you from experience, I've seen the worst free throw shooting teams knock in clutch free throws and win ball games. Chet Cordell will have an opportunity here as he misses the first one. He's now 0 of 3 from the free throw line in this ball game. And
now it's crucial for Ellenwood to box out.
You got to have the box out. You have Clausen and Whalen down low as Cordell knocks in the second free throw, so he has 9. Takes over second place on the team scoring in this game. Skylar Hill leading the way with 16. Almost matching Kyle Corbett's 15. And Skylar Hill pulls in the steal and puts up the shot, and he's going to draw a foul. The 7th Ellenwood turnover, and it'll be on Cale Clausen, his first.
Skylar Hill definitely has some quick hands. He reached in and popped that away from Cale before Cale even realized he was there.
Hill goes to the line where he is 3 of 4 so far on the night. Opportunity to cut into the lead. His first shot is up and off the front iron. No good. He's 3 of 5 now with sitting at that 16-point mark. A little over his average at 14.9 on the season. Second shot up and true for Skylar Hill. He's got 17, cutting the lead to 7 now. It's Corbett double teamed in the corner, trying to find Whalen that does it. The half-court shot gets it ahead to Garrett Hayes. Wide open, cherry picking Garrett Hayes puts in the 12 point on the night. 49-40, 1 minute to play. Skylar Hill up the other way, guarded by Clausen, gets it around to Ackerman, almost blocked by Whalen, but Ackerman puts in his 9th point. 49-42. Patrick Ring in the corner now. Breaks the press, almost throws it away, gets it back. So they're going to say he stepped out of bounds, and that'll be the 8th Ellenwood turnover on the night. Still with a 7-point advantage. Ellenwood has got to hang on to the basketball for 47 more seconds, and they're going to take a W here, proving it 2-0 in 2011 and 4-3-5 on the season, but they have to get to the final 45 seconds now as the pass is tipped out of bounds. Will stay with
Little River couldn't do it without help, and Ellenwood's giving them a little bit of help.
Cordell inside, shot is up and rimmed out, pulled in by Cale Clausen. Gets it ahead to Corbett. Jerry picking ahead again to Garrett Hayes. It goes to Brett Whalen. Brett Whalen lays it in. 12 points now for the 2 big guys down low, and Eric Wright going back the other way for Little River. 25 seconds left. Ackerman puts up the shot off the front iron. No good. Pulled in by Riggins. Brett Whalen tips this one away, pulled in by Wright. Brett Whalen gets another block with too much of the body as Brett Whalen now with 4 personal fouls, 12 team fouls for Ellenwood, and it'll send Ethan Wright, to the line to shoot 2, and Wright is just a 25% free throw shooter on the season.
4 blocks for Brett's career high tonight.
Wright misses the first one and remains the game at 51-49, a 9-point advantage with 15 seconds to go in this ball game. And Ellenwood more than likely will take this one as Brett Whalen pulls in the rebound, and they're going to call a foul inside on Little River. So Wright misses both, and Whalen will go to the other end to shoot 2 free throws, as this is the 10th team foul, and the 4th on Chet Cordell. 3 here in the 4th quarter. We're seeing near mass substitution. 4 guys setting to key in for Ellenwood. Cody Easern, Mikey Yellowwolf, and Chance Clausen, I believe, will be checking in as well. Whalen puts in his first free throw of the night. He has got 13 points now. With Derek Ward also into the game. Mikey Yellowwolf, Chance Clausen, Derek Ward, and Cody Easern all check in, and they'll leave Brett Whalen out there as the lone post player for this Ellenwood team. A 10-point advantage now. 14 seconds to go. Brett Whalen's second shot up and good. 11 points is the lead. 14 points for Brett Whalen. Ahead to Skylar Hill. Almost goes for the shot, but gets it ahead to Redkin, who fires the shot off the back iron. Pulled in by Cody Easern, and that's going to wrap up our ball game here as Little River still fighting for it with 3.3 seconds to go. And it tips it out of bounds. It will stay with Ellenwood as Cordell and right. Both tip it out of bounds. Mikey Yellowwolf set to key it in. 3, 2, and catch. Cordell kicks this one out of bounds, and Ellenwood takes the ball game 53 to 42 and improves to 3-5 on the season, while Little River will fall to 4-4 overall. And this was really a solid